Alignment of tactics with long-term strategic goals. Csca. Explain why short-term objectives and operational planning must align with a strategic plan. Short-term objectives and tactical plans must be directly derived from the organization's long-term strategic goals. Strategy defines where the organization intends to compete and how it will create value, while operational planning translates the direction into measurable annual targets and actionable initiatives. If short-term objectives are disconnected from strategy, resources may be misallocated, and performance improvements may not support sustainable competitive advantage. Tactical decisions, such as budgeting, staffing, pricing, or production planning, should reinforce the chosen competitive position, cost leadership, differentiation, or focus. Operational activities must reflect strategic trade-offs and priorities rather than pursuing isolated efficiency gains. Alignment ensures coherence across functions, improves accountability, and enables performance measurement systems to track progress toward long-term objectives. Effective implementation requires that strategy comes first and guides all lower-level planning decisions. Leadership, communication, culture, and workforce engagement. Csca. Discuss the importance of strategic leadership in successful strategy implementation. Strategic leadership is essential for translating strategic plans into organizational action. Leaders communicate the vision, establish priorities, allocate resources, and create a culture that supports execution. Without strong leadership, even well-designed strategies may fail due to lack of coordination, resistance to change, or unclear direction. Effective strategic leaders ensure alignment between organizational structure, incentives, and performance metrics. They remove barriers, resolve conflicts, and maintain focus on long-term objectives while managing short-term pressures. Leadership also plays a critical role in managing change. Implementing strategy often requires shifts in processes, behaviors, or mindsets. Leaders who inspire trust and demonstrate commitment increase employee engagement and improve the probability of achieving sustained competitive advantage. Csca. Identify and explain characteristics of effective leadership. Effective leaders articulate a compelling vision that clarifies strategic direction and inspires commitment. Strong communication skills enable them to translate complex strategies into understandable goals and motivate employees toward shared objectives. Clear messaging reduces uncertainty and fosters alignment throughout the organization. The ability to motivate, delegate, and empower others is critical for execution. Leaders build capable teams, assign authority appropriately, and encourage accountability. Empowerment enhances innovation and responsiveness, supporting dynamic competitive environments. High emotional intelligence, competence, and character distinguish sustainable leadership. Emotional intelligence fosters trust and collaboration, competence ensures sound decision-making, and strong ethical character builds credibility. These attributes collectively strengthen organizational culture and improve long-term performance outcomes. Csca. Evaluate a manager's strategic leadership skills and recommend improvements. Evaluating strategic leadership in a scenario requires assessing whether the manager demonstrates vision, effective communication, decisiveness, and alignment with strategic objectives. Indicators of weak leadership may include unclear priorities, inconsistent messaging, failure to delegate, or resistance to feedback. The evaluation should consider whether the manager fosters collaboration, empowers employees, and aligns incentives with strategic goals. A lack of emotional intelligence or ethical consistency may undermine trust and execution effectiveness. Recommendations for improvement may include leadership development training, enhanced communication strategies, clearer performance metrics, stronger delegation practices, or mentorship programs. Strengthening strategic leadership capabilities improves implementation success and supports long-term competitive sustainability. Csca. Explain why effective communication of the strategic plan is important. Effective communication ensures that employees at all levels understand the organization's strategic direction, priorities, and expected outcomes. Without clear communication, even well-designed strategies may fail because employees cannot align daily decisions and behaviors with long-term objectives. Strategy must be translated from high-level vision into actionable guidance that clarifies individual and departmental responsibilities. Clear communication reduces uncertainty and resistance to change. When employees understand the rationale behind strategic initiatives, they are more likely to support implementation efforts and remain committed during transitions. Consistent communication reinforces alignment across functions, promotes accountability, and supports performance measurement systems. Strong communication bridges the gap between strategic formulation and operational execution, increasing the likelihood of sustainable competitive success. LOS F. Identify and explain characteristics of effective communication. Effective communication begins with clarity, completeness, and conciseness. Messages should clearly define objectives, strategic priorities, and expected outcomes without unnecessary complexity. Employees must understand both the what and the why behind strategic decisions to align actions appropriately. Communication must target a well-defined audience using appropriate tactics and multiple channels, such as meetings, written plans, dashboards, and digital platforms. Tailoring messages to different stakeholder groups improves understanding and engagement. Appropriate timing, frequency, and feedback mechanisms are essential. Strategy communication should be continuous, not a one-time event. Two-way communication enables leaders to gather feedback, identify misunderstandings, and refine messaging to support effective implementation. LOS G. Evaluate an organization's communication of strategy and recommend improvements. Evaluating strategic communication requires assessing whether objectives are clearly articulated, consistently reinforced, and aligned across organizational levels. Warning signs of ineffective communication include confusion about priorities, inconsistent messaging from leadership, or lack of measurable performance targets linked to strategy. The analysis should examine whether communication channels are appropriate and inclusive. If communication is limited to top management announcements without employee engagement, understanding and commitment may be weak. Recommendations may include simplifying strategic messaging, linking goals to individual performance metrics, increasing leadership visibility, using multiple communication platforms, and implementing structured feedback systems. Strengthening communication enhances alignment, engagement, and overall execution effectiveness. LOS H. Discuss the importance of organizational culture and assess strategy, culture compatibility. Organizational culture, shared values, beliefs, and norms, strongly influences how strategies are implemented. A culture that supports innovation, accountability, and collaboration can accelerate strategic execution, while a rigid or risk-averse culture may resist change initiatives. Strategy, culture compatibility is critical. For example, a differentiation strategy emphasizing innovation requires a culture that encourages experimentation and learning. A cost leadership strategy may require discipline, efficiency, and process control. When misalignment exists, performance suffers. Leaders may need to reshape culture through revised incentives, leadership modeling, recruitment practices, and communication efforts. Assessing cultural fit ensures that internal behaviors reinforce, rather than undermine, strategic objectives.